Are you dealing with tight hips? I want you to run through this series. We're gonna start by taking a kettlebell or a slam ball seen here. If you have a breathing ball like a Pilates ball, even better because it kind of grab that skin a little bit. I'm gonna go with the kettlebell because that's what most people have, but something softer I think would feel a little bit more comfortable. From there, I'm gonna think about finding a landmark. I want you to be between the belly button and the top of your pelvis. From here, I'm just gonna lay on this. Once again, the softer the item, the better. I'm gonna go with the kettlebell. I've used this with athletes in the past. We kind of work through it, just a little bit more tension on that area. From here, I'm just gonna think about breathing. I want you to think about exhaling it. I'm trying to let this kettlebell touch my spine. Will it physically touch it? No, but I'm trying to relax into that tissue as much as possible. Nice, slow, controlled breath. Inhale, kind of pushing into the kettlebell or the slam ball or whatever you have access to, and then exhaling, dropping in. Really just trying to massage that tissue. Inhale, pushing into the kettlebell, exhale. Nice, long, slow exhale. From there, we're gonna roll over and create a little bit more tension on that area with that same kettlebell. Now finding that same landmark between your belly button and that top of that pelvis, I'm gonna take that same kettlebell and I'm gonna flip it over so the angle of the handle is going down to my crotch, just kind of running in between that belly button, that pelvic bone. From there, I'm gonna lay flat on my back. I'm gonna go with the left leg bent because I'm spending my time on the left side now with these efforts. From here, I'm gonna put this handle at the angle going down to my crotch. And from here, I'm gonna think about keeping my lower back flush to the ground, staying into a posterior pelvic tilt, and I'm just gonna breathe. As I exhale, I'm trying to let this kettlebell get accepted into my body a little bit deeper each rep. Inhale through the nose, exhale, let that kettlebell drop a little bit deeper each rep. Probably gonna go for about 6 to 8 reps on one side at a time. And then from there, I'm gonna bring this right leg up so both of my legs are bent. And from here, I'm gonna think about lifting my left leg about 2 inches off the ground, maintaining that lower back flush to the ground, heels elevated up. And now I'm just gonna think about straightening this left leg out. Straightening out, straightening out, straightening out, straightening out, pulling my toe to my shin, knee, back of my knees, pointing it, pulling, pushing it to the ground. A lot of tensions on my left hip flexor now with this kettlebell. Slowly draw it back in while maintaining my low back flush to the ground. Nice and controlled. Just kind of lengthening that leg, lengthening that tissue with some tension of the kettlebell, nice and slow. Once again, I'm gonna go for about 6, 8 reps here. I don't wanna be too heavy with this kettlebell. Please start a little bit slower with a lighter kettlebell, controlled movement, digging a little bit deeper as you need it. Once again, make sure we're being smart here. If you have some sort of abdominal issues, anything removed, any sort of abdominal surgery, I'm gonna go against digging inside that area, maybe go to a massage therapist to have them do this. But if you're pretty healthy, just looking to create some tension on those hip flexors. Next, taking a band, positioning it as nice and high up on that thigh as we can get. Make sure we're working on one leg at a time here with this whole series. From here, I want you to think about letting this band kind of pull me back into a hinge. So I'm kind of sliding back some. And from here, I'm gonna think about driving my right hip through, creating all that tension, holding that spot, driving my right hip, letting it slide back. So kind of easing in and out of tension, using the added tension of the band to load that area. Hold it, hold it, hold it, slide on back. Slide back in that hinge, breaking the hips, drive hips through, hold. I'm gonna hold this for about 5, 8 seconds, hold that tension, ease in and out of this. Let's aim for about 5, 6 reps on one side at a time. And then loading that hip flexor further, I'm gonna go with a front foot elevated position. And I want you to think about all those coaching points that I talked about, maintaining that flat back, that posterior pelvic tilt, creating tension along the right side of my hip from that previous band distraction. And from here, I'm just gonna think about maintaining that right glute driving forward, and I'm just gonna sink nice and deep. We're elevating that front hip so I can break below 90, get a little bit deeper than traditionally having both feet flat on the ground, holding this isometric, driving my right hip through, standing up nice and controlled, holding that isometric, really loading that quad and those hip flexors under tension. So nice slow reach, staying in that posterior pelvic tilt, keeping my right glute forward, holding this position. Think about this as like a loaded couch stretch. I'm really lengthening this tissue, but loading it with my body weight. Hold it, hold it, hold it for that 5-second range. Control, right back up. Run through that series focusing on your left side and then your right side of all of those movements, touching it for the reps prescribed. Remember, ease into it. We don't want to be too painful with either the kettlebell weight that we choose or the band tension. Nice and easy. When we're trying to relax tissue, if we're wincing and fighting through pain, probably not going to relax through it. So choose weights accordingly, breathe accordingly, nice slow exhales as you ease into those ranges of motion.